Well, the first one to consider is, do you have a hole in the roof and is water coming in? And that's something people sometimes forget to think about. You know, they have wet litter and they assume it's coming from the birds or the feed. The other thing is, is your water system intact? Are you dripping water or whatever? So once all those are ruled out, then you can talk about the feed and what might happen. The first thing that's very important is the level of salt or sodium in the feed. Now we talk about that first starter feed, and probably what you want to have is higher salt in that first starter feed, maybe up to 0.24, 0.25% sodium, because that doesn't represent much water consumption. But then in the grower and finisher period, you want to make sure that sodium is probably down around a 0.16 as the requirement would tell you. If you are using an ionophore coccidiostat such as monensin, you may need to have a little bit higher sodium in that starter feed as well, which would prevent birds from pecking at each other. The other thing about wet litter is your feed digested? So if you have poor digestible feed ingredients, obviously you're going to have passage, the feed conversion will be poor, and they'll be drinking more water, and you're going to get wet litter. The other important thing is the temperature of the house. Is it too hot? Because they're going to drink more water. What's the temperature of the water? The water ideally should be cooler than the room. If it's not, they may drink more and have wet droppings. And once you get wet droppings, then you're going to have foot pad lesions and breast lesions and all sorts of other problems.